All right, we are going to get started. We got a big afternoon planned. Before we have our seminar presenter this afternoon, we have a sponsor, Mayflower Tours. And Mayflower Tours is a company many of you, probably most of you are familiar with, based outside of Chicago, trips throughout the world, tremendous expertise, and a long-time sponsor and supporter of this conference. And from Mayflower Tours, we have Julia Stecker, and I think Julia's bringing a friend, so come on up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody go watch the Super Bowl last night? Yeah, that was an unbelievable venue. Unbelievable. It was really well done, and the food was very good too. Unfortunately, my team didn't win. How many Patriots fans here? All right, your team won. But anyway, how many people have heard of Mayflower Tours before? Me. Yeah. All right, great. Well, we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves here. Mayflower Tours have been around since 1979. So I was born in 1978, so I was 1 year old at the time when Mayflower Tours started. This gives you an idea here. With my position here, I'm the Director of Sales at Mayflower Tours. We have Joan Thornton over here. She's our sales manager in California. As you can see there's my kids there. If anybody has any advice on how to handle a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, I'm all ears afterwards too. So as I mentioned, Mayflower Tours has been around since 1979. That's John and Mary Stacknick, the owners of the company there. Some of the highlights with Mayflower Tours is we use top accommodations. So for instance, we stay in great properties. We have a property where we stay in Iceland, where we stay city center, which is really nice. Another things that we do are unique destinations. Now, how many people here have been to Iceland? Okay. How many people have been to Alaska? How many people have been to Yellowstone? Imagine being in Alaska and Yellowstone at the same time. That's Iceland. It's really an incredible destination. If you haven't experienced Iceland, I encourage you to go. It really is unique. They have certain things there like the Blue Lagoons, which is amazing. I actually had the opportunity to sit in the Blue Lagoon, and it's supposed to be like the Fountain of Youth, and I can attest to that because I really am 63 years old, so. No, but it's unbelievable. And the Northern Lights too. Has anybody ever seen the Northern Lights in Alaska before? Okay, think of that times 2 or times 3 when you get up into Iceland. It's really incredible. It's a really great experience too. One of the great things too that Mayflower Tours does that we do is river cruising. And I think the thing that we do, one of the best things we do is service. I think when it comes to travel, every company does a great job. But I think when it comes to travel, we all want to know that we have a great experience for our travelers. And I think having just got off a river cruise, we do an unbelievable job of it. We have 3 tour managers on board the ship. It's exclusively chartered. And we do certain things on the tour, little extra things. How many people have been on a river cruise before? How many have been with us before? Okay, great. So we'll go ahead and show you a little quick video of kind of what our river cruise experience is like with Mayflower Tours. We have Guarantee Share program too. That's another good program that we have, which allows you, if you book as a single looking for a roommate and we can't find you a roommate, we actually give you the single upgrade for free. It's really a great service because a lot of times people travel as a single and they're looking for a roommate and they can't find one, but we don't have to charge them the full upgrade fee. We have insurance protection as well, which allows cancellation up until the day before departure and all domestic international itineraries, which is really nice. So here's the video I was talking about here with river cruising.
The unique thing about cruising with Mayflower Tours is the fact that it is an exclusively chartered river cruise. They're all first-class, deluxe, luxury ships. Travelers have an opportunity to select the cabin of their choice. It's your home away from home. The quality of service, the quality of food, the most beautiful cities throughout the world on our rivers. And during the course of our itineraries, we also provide 2-night stays in some of the finer hotels in these beautiful cities. Many of our excursions are included in our river cruise programs. It goes beyond expectation, and I think that's what sets us apart from many other companies. Well, my goal as a business manager really is to make sure that our travelers have an experience of a lifetime. I love my job because it gives me an opportunity to not only share experiences and share destinations around the world with people, and with the help of the cruise directors and the ship's crew, we try to accommodate all of our travelers as best we can. We're their go-to people, we're their travel agent, we're their concierge, if you will, during the course of the week. One of the satisfying things is to know that these people know who I am. They can come to me for emergencies, they can come for me for information on destinations, on ports, and so forth. It just makes for a wonderful experience. The fact that we have so many repeat travelers from Mayflower Tours is that we do a good job. And our satisfaction levels from all of our travelers are quite high. And if our travelers are happy, I'm happy.
Is when it comes to river cruising, there's big ships, there's large ships, and there's small ships. But the most important ships of all are friendships. And that's what we want to bring to you on all our Mayflower tours. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Mac, and thank you for having us back here, and thank you for considering Alaska. I feel better after listening to Amber, don't you? Yeah. Aren't we more positive about maybe going to Alaska now? Even you Falcon fans have to feel better about Alaska. Sorry, that was low-hanging fruit. Like I said, it's a pleasure to be back here. It's a pleasure to share my family business in a place that's been certainly a big part of my life for the last 32 years. Many of you have heard me speak before, and it's wonderful to see you again, but for those of you that haven't, hopefully I get a chance to speak with you at greater length as the couple of days progresses here. Unfortunately, Max said we have a few extra minutes, but I've been warned after last year, don't take advantage of those few extra minutes, so I'm going to get moving. It's no great secret to me, and I think for most of you that have clients who are interested in Alaska, there's really three drawing points to Alaska in terms of what Mother Nature offers us. And it starts with the glaciers, no doubt about it, whether it's tidewater, whether it's the valley or the hanging glaciers. Alaska is a special place, really next to Antarctica and Greenland, one of the very special places when it comes to the tidewater glaciers and the icebergs. Our mountains and our scenery, very special. Alaska has 14 different mountain ranges. My Minnesota family that are here, I guess the extended family. The land of lakes is Minnesota. They have 10,000. We have a mere 3 million in Alaska, but we're going to let Minnesota hang out of that title of land of lakes. And of course, the wildlife. My favorite reason to be in Alaska is our wildlife. And for most of the visitor population that comes, this year we're expecting around 2 million visitors. Now, most of those 1.8 million will come during the months of May, June, July, August, and September. And for about 1 million of those guests, they're going to take a beautiful cruise through the Inside Passage. And one of the most unbelievable places, as many as you know already, that you can cruise to is Alaska. Of course, if you take a beautiful cruise out of San Diego or go over to New Orleans or Miami, those cruises into the Caribbean, whether the eastern, western, southern, they offer 4 or 5 days of beautiful weather and 4 or 5 days worth of water views. Where in Alaska, you've got the glaciers and you've got the mountains and the scenery and the Sitka spruce to keep you entertained at probably 4 or 5 days out of a 7-day itinerary. And that's all fine and dandy. 1 million people a year take these luxury cruise ships or those small, more intimate cruise ships into Alaska's Inside Passage. And then for those very lucky few, about 400,000 a year, they make it to Denali. And hopefully they get a chance to go into Denali. And if they're really, really, really lucky, they get a chance to stay at the Grand Denali Lodge, which some of you have met Dee Dee O'Brien. Beautiful property at the gates of Denali. Highly recommend you consider putting your groups in there. But for us, and really for my dad's foundation of this business, his idea was, how can we create itineraries that take people who are visiting Alaska to the destinations throughout the state that the Alaska residents actually go to vacation? Places like Wrangell St. Elias National Park and Katmai National Park and Kodiak, Alaska. Take them out to the Bering Sea if they're interested. And that commitment starts with you and with your clients. We don't want your clients sitting in a hotel holding onto their luggage and waiting for the next paddle to go up, for the next tour to depart. So that commitment starts with a more personalized approach to Alaska, sometimes addition by subtraction. Less is more in a lot of respects in this industry. And in Alaska especially, when you have these neat little mom and pop operations like the Talkeetna Roadhouse, where you can go and sit down with a group of 30 or 40 people, there's an advantage there. There's a guest opportunity, an experience for your guests that they may not have if they're in groups of 90 to 100 or 120. And so this is certainly something that we are going to try to avoid. Now, there are some similarities, I guess, between our organization, the foundation, the fabric of our organization, as well as many of the other great operators that are out there. Holland America, Princess, all do a fantastic job in Alaska. But with that smaller group approach, even the onboard experience for our guests is a bit different in terms of our motor coach fleet. Some of you might have seen these motor coaches at ABA not too long ago, this year or last year. When a typical MCI or Prevost or Van Hool is designed, generally 55 to 57 seats is found on board. What we do is we spread that seating out a little bit, eliminate 5 rows of seats, make it more luxury driven for the guests. Because I don't believe that all tour operators are cut from the same cloth. We don't want to be a butts and seats operator. And my goal, I guess, is to break that mold of what a traditional bus tour consists of, because there are people who are apprehensive about bus tours. I think it goes back to, I love Branson, but 1982 in Branson, and that model, and a lot of our today's travelers think that that's what their parents did and that's what their grandparents did, and they don't want to do that. And so this adds a little bit more of a luxury, more personalized approach to Alaska. What the motor coaches offer is opportunities to get into places in eastern Alaska like Valdez and beautiful Keystone Canyon, Wrangell St. Elias National Park, one of the places I highly recommend. It's actually North America's largest national park, and it's home to this amazing copper mill that you see here. It's called the Kennecott Copper Mines, ran from 1910 to 1912. Obviously, we talk about national parks, we can't neglect Denali. And I know a lot of you have been to Denali. Some of you enjoyed it and some not so much. The reviews aren't always as glorious as we hope they would be. But Denali certainly can be done right. Again, when you sometimes restrict the numbers of travelers that you're willing to travel with. This year in 2017, we are excited to celebrate Denali's centennial. Of course, last year, 2016, the entire National Park Services celebrated its 100-year anniversary. But thank you to a gentleman named Charles Sheldon who studied these beautiful Dall sheep right here. February 26th, 1917 marked the official indoctrination of Denali National Park into our National Park Services. So we're very excited to celebrate that. Now, for many of you that are planning trips or have trips planned or have done trips in the past, this map might mean something to you, of course. These are the different treks that are offered into Denali. So say you're lucky enough to go and stay at the Grand Denali Lodge and you make that journey on those school buses into the park. My recommendation for you, and this is a very heartfelt recommendation, try to get your guests beyond that natural history tour. It's a 4-hour trip. It takes your guests 23 miles into the park, 23 miles back out. Chances of seeing wildlife, honestly, are not that great. And I think you're going to see the reviews from your guests jump substantially by at least committing to a 103-mile round trip tundra wilderness tour. And that's something that all the big operators in Alaska, I give a lot of kudos to Holland America, because they make that a commitment with all of their tours. That Denali segment is so important. But if you're looking to elevate that even more, think about going to the end of that road, 92 miles in. Very different from other national parks like Yellowstone or maybe the Grand Tetons, where you can drive your own vehicle in there. There are some restrictions when it comes to Denali. But one of the advantages at the end of that road, at the end of that park road 92 miles in, is the Denali Backcountry Lodge. And I know some of you are going to meet with the young lady, Katie, over the next couple of days, and she represents one of this property as well as a couple others that are just magnificent. But this is the kind of opportunity that exists for you and for you to pass on to your clients. 40 cabins, 80 people maximum, no cell service, no TVs, no internet. Really, in my opinion, what Denali was meant to be 30, 40, 50 years ago. You know, we like the t-shirt shops and the jewelry stores, and we love the fact that you can get your coffee mug that says Alaska and made in China on the bottom. But that's not really what Alaska's about, and we want to showcase places like this for you. And of course, one of the greatest assets to Kantishna is only 7 miles away, is this beautiful lake that is oftentimes used to promote Denali, and that is Wonder Lake. It's a place that this last summer, out of the 400,000 visitors that came to Denali, only about 27,000 guests got a chance to enjoy. Of course, the railroad's very important to Alaska. I proudly represent and wear the star on my jacket today for the Alaska Gold Star service. These beautiful dome cars, a great luxurious way to experience Alaska. One of the advantages of the Alaska Railroad, of course, is those elevated viewing platforms on that Gold Star service. And the great thing is you can come out of Denali, you can get on that train and ride it over to Talkeetna, one of my favorite cities in the state. 80 miles from Denali as the crow flies. This hotel offers really unmatched views of the Alaska range from Hunter to Foraker to Moose's Tooth and, of course, Denali. But Alaska's more than just trains and motor coaches, and we realize that. We're talking about a landmass that's 560,000 square miles in size. That's 2.5 times bigger than the state of Texas. Hook 'em horns. But in order to really open up Alaska, we have to get out of those rail cars oftentimes, or out of those motor coaches, and incorporate small boats. You know, small boats are going to give you, as a person designing itineraries for your groups, the opportunity to see more glaciers. Your typical 7-day cruise in Alaska will highlight glaciers in Glacier Bay or Yakutat Bay or Tracy Arm, but these small boat opportunities take you into the beautiful waters of Kenai Fjords that are so rich with wildlife, and you can go see the Bear Glacier, or you can, of course, cruise into Prince William Sound and see glaciers like Mears Glacier or Columbia Glacier. And maybe those cruises take you to a remote lodge in a place like Kenai Fjords, where they have the Wilderness Lodge, or Cordova in the very southeastern portion of Prince William Sound. These, again, more remote lodges offer more hands-on experiences for your guests as well. Maybe kayaking to the Sheridan Glacier, a chance to come and see our lovely animals, the marine wildlife, the harbor seals, the sea lions, the puffins, the bald eagles, and of course the whales. There is not a bad time to bring your group to see the whales in Alaska. In fact, you could go today. You could fly to Juneau, Alaska, and see humpback whales just like this, because the juveniles stay in our waters year-round. But what's most absolutely fascinating about these waterways is the chance to give your guests this. And don't let them miss this. Don't let them sit inside and stare out the windows, because it's not how you experience something. To experience something means you touch it, taste it, smell it, feel it. And when these glaciers calve, like you see right here, you just saw a 15 or 20-story building that crumbled down into the water, and at a half-mile away, you'll feel that inside your body. Of course, probably the most important method of transportation, if you really want to create an awesome itinerary in Alaska, is put your guests into these small aircraft. Think about these de Havilland Beavers or de Havilland Otters or even a Beechcraft 1900, so that you can go to places like Katmai National Park in July and stand on the platforms and watch these bears feed on the salmon. Or to, I'm going to butcher this name, of course, this used to be Barrow, Alaska, until a couple months ago the natives voted to change the name of the village to Uktugvik. And of course that's its native name. But to walk through the streets of Barrow and understand that subsistence living in 2017 in the United States of America still exists, it kind of puts in perspective how lucky we are in this great big world. And maybe think about winter in Alaska. This is often something that for most prospective visitors isn't considered. The Iditarod's going to start here the 1st of March, first Saturday in March. We run those 80 dog teams down 4th Avenue in Anchorage and then restart out in Willow the next day. And of course, this is already touched on, the Aurora and places like Iceland, but of course Alaska in March. This is a religious experience. I've witnessed people in tears. Still chokes me up to stand under those lights and to watch them dance down on top of you. And again, to find yourself in a place like Talkeetna, only 80 miles away. This is a picture I took last March. That was at 1 o'clock in the morning. With your naked eye, you could see the Alaska Range in Denali because of the northern lights that were backlighting this mountain. Always focus on itineraries that not only take you to destinations like this, but also, as was mentioned previously, create opportunities for your guests that make them feel special. Don't put them on a sightseeing tour. Let them really absorb Alaska. And so focus in on Alaska-owned and operated properties and also attractions along the way to really elevate and make it more personal for your guests. And one of the things that I am most proud of is the way that we've been able to design with our partners in Alaska meal programs that allow you as a group operator not to be forced to eat buffets or forced into that all for one and one for all approach to dining, because that doesn't work for everybody, especially nowadays with the allergies, the gluten-free diets, the dairy, the soy. Allowing guests to order what they want, because oftentimes in group travel, people paying a premium, and they shouldn't be shortchanged on the food side because it's convenient for the operators. We want to make sure that you enjoy the fruits of the sea, the king crab, the scallops, obviously the salmon and the halibut. Of course, I can talk all I want about how great Alaska is, but like Colette, I want you to hear from some of our guests, because these are the people who wrote the checks and went to Alaska and made that commitment. I think they're the best marketers the state of Alaska has.
Staff and all personnel involved have just been phenomenal. They go out of their way to make it above and beyond anything that you expect.
We would do this again in a heartbeat.
Every day there's something new, from seeing whales to the scenery. It's breathtaking.
It's like they picked the best of Alaska and just handed it to you. I would never have thought to go to places that they take you. It's the real Alaska.
But the John Wells Group's special. They have a way of finding these kinds of places that are really not on the radar for most people. They go to the kind of places that, Alaskans bring their friends when they come to visit. It's really a special group for us.
It's really nice with the John Hall trips because you don't have 100 other people on the boat trying to push you out of the way for a picture. You guys just get to see more than the average person does. More glaciers, more wildlife, just how pristine this area actually is.
I've been on several cruises and you just don't get such an in-depth exposure and understanding.
Most importantly for me, I don't care how you get there. Just come and see Alaska, because it's an awesome place, and I think some of you, of course, share that feeling already, and I think that your guests and their family and friends will share that experience, hopefully, with us and continue on the tradition. So thank you very much. one last, slightly, I guess, important thing. Over the last day or so, a lot of you that are wearing the green badges have stopped by to pick up information on Alaska or talk, and I had a pamphlet out for a drawing. Of course, every year for the last 3 years that I've come, we've given away one of our land programs on our Grand Slam Alaska. We're gonna do that again this year. And then I've got one other thing. In time for Valentine's Day, I'm gonna have 10 pounds of king crab shipped to your front doorstep to the winner for we'll call it the runner-up prize, if that's a tough runner-up prize. So with that in mind, I'm gonna let Jennifer do the drawing to make it fair. And I'm sorry if this is going over my time, Angela. The winner of the crab, oh, Barbara's bunch. Where's Miss Barbara? Is she here? 10 pounds of crab for Miss Barbara. Who, by the way, I don't know if anybody noticed yesterday, was wearing red, white, and blue in her scarf. That was her nod to the Patriots. And for the 9-day land program, in which we'll have a number of dates available for you to choose from, Gloria Roca from the Roca Murals. She is here. Awesome. Please stop by my booth, both of you, and I will make sure to coordinate everything and let you know how we'll get that to you and how to get set up. But again, thank you very much. Thank you for supporting Alaska. Awesome times to all of you, and thank you, Ontario.
All right, way to go, John. Amber passed you that baton with 5 minutes on it, and you gave it back with 3 on it, so good job. Good job. Something that's like Traveler, or maybe the first time in several years. It's a company you know well. It's Grand Circle Travel, and is Felipe here? All right, come on up.
Hello. So my name is Felipe, and I'm here with Grand Circle Travel and OAT. And I just want to start with a quick video just showing you about our company. So again, I'm here with Grand Circle Travel and OAT. I know a lot of you have probably heard of us before. I'm sure a lot of your travelers have been with our company as well. Overall, we have 4 brands that cross a great variety of different tour destinations around the world. In fact, we have over 100 different tours visiting over 100 different countries, all 7 continents, giving travelers a great variety of different travel experiences. We have some land tours that can be as small as 16 people on more off the beaten path destinations. We have river cruises that are going at a much more relaxed pace that people do enjoy as well. But overall, it's just a great variety that can really seek all of your travelers. So whether you have a smaller group or a larger party, we can accommodate between 16 and 164 travelers, just to give you a great variety. So what really sets us apart? We have an unbeatable value. And value doesn't just mean lowest cost. Value to us is really what you're getting for your money in terms of the included features, the level of accommodations that we provide, the included meals that we have as well. The overall pace is just a great value for our travelers, and people do appreciate that. On all of our tours, we have local program directors and trip leaders. And what that means is when you first arrive on the tour, you'll be greeted by a guide who'll be with you for the whole duration. So you'll have a consistent relationship with a person who'll be there watching over your travelers and be able to have a very cohesive and consistent experience, which really sets them apart. They're from the area, they're local guides, they're English speaking, but they are very passionate about their countries, and they just know a wealth of knowledge about the people, the culture, the history, and are really excited to show you the insider looks. We also have a lot of learning and discovery, so you're not just going to be going and visiting the normal, touristy sites, but you want to really be immersed in the people and the culture and learning more about the backgrounds and having a feeling that when you come back home, you really gathered and learned a lot during your time there. Oftentimes, if you're going on a trip with OAT, the guide will be seeing something of interest and he'll just stop the bus and try to point something out that's very unique, be it a farmer and have you help perhaps plow the fields, or some other crop or food that's unique to the area. We are also well known for being the leader in solo-friendly travel. With any of our land tours, we have a limited number of free single supplements, which means that the traveler can actually have their own room, their own space, their own privacy at the end of the day, without having to pay any additional cost. And on our cruises, we are very fair with the pricing of the single supplements. A lot of other companies will charge people either 50% more or even double the cost, which is very difficult for solo travelers. And we have a much more reasonable rate, which is why a lot of our single travelers really love us. And we're also very friendly with group leaders and making it easier for you to lead a group with your clients. Throughout the years, we've won a number of awards that really recognize what we do. One that I'm very proud of is with the Condé Nast Traveler Reader's Choice Award. Grand Circle Cruise Line has actually won this award for the last 5 years in a row. And what it means is the travelers themselves are submitting requests showing that they really appreciate our value, and we think it means a lot when it's coming from the travelers themselves. More recently, we also won the Kiplinger's Best Value for Solo-Friendly Travel, again, because we don't charge a single supplement on any OAT tour or the land trips. So we have this group travel program, and we want to make it easier for you to lead a group with your travelers. You have the dedicated services of 2 group sales associates, one person helping you with the sales side, one helping with the service side, communicating with the region to make sure that you are able to work out everything you need for your situation. We offer competitive compensation. We can make custom materials for travelers as well, be it a simple flyer or email with booking instructions or even a customized trip leader landing page on our website so that your travelers have access to the information and videos right on our site. The commission is processed prior to the departure, and we also do have the free travel liability, which I know is important for a lot of very cautious and concerned group leaders. Overall, whether you want to go really anywhere in the world. Given our breadth and variety of experiences with tours that are going to be more off the beaten path, going on a safari, going on a hike in Nepal, or wanting to do a more simple European river cruise where you don't worry about packing and unpacking, the variety of experiences is really unprecedented. A lot of our travelers, they've been with us on a multitude of trips. It's very common for me to talk to someone who's been on 5, 10, or more trips. They keep loving what we do and they come back consistently. So I just want to thank you for your time.
So, Stacy, would you bring my first item up? My first item is a Fitbit Blaze Smart Fitness Watch. Fitbit Blaze Smart Fitness Watch. Are you ready? Do I have my assistants in the room? You have your cash out? Ready to go? All right, what do I hear for this Fitbit Blaze Smart Fitness Watch? $5. $5.
$500.
Need my spotters. $3,000. $3,000. Do I hear $3,000? Can I get $3,100? $3,000. $3,100. 31. We got 31. All right, 3,100. Can I get 32? 3,200. Can I get 33? $3,300. Can I get 34? $3,400. 34. Can I get 35? $3,500. Do I hear 4,000. 36. Somebody give me 36. Yes. Okay, 36 do I hear. Come on. You only live once. 3,700. 38. Oh, we gotta go now. 38. Yep. Can I get 4,000? $4,000. Can I get 4,000?
She's thinking about her father too.
4,000.
Her father's a lot sooner. How about Stacy?
Is that